Hi everyone, Tom Wolf here, and in this video I'll be showing you how to create the digital style pad Breathe the Air, which was included as a free download in the Synth Vault in May 2022. Let's have a look at how to create it. So let's start in Engine 1, and we've got Engine 1 set to wavetable, and we've got the gentle additives wavetable selected. Now as you can see, we've got the position set to 0.548 here, so that sounds like this. So that gives us a kind of nasal sort of additive style sound. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to modulate this wavetable position. So for that, we're going to use envelope 2. So I'll come down here and switch that on. So that's modulating our wavetable 1 position, and it's set to 0.16. So now when we press a note, we can see our wavetable morphing here. So that gives us a nice little bit of movement to the sound. We'll also have a look at our envelope. So to get that kind of pad sound on our VCA envelope, we have got the attack set to 2.85 seconds. We've got the sustain all the way up, and then we've got quite a long release there as well, 5.27 seconds. And on envelope 2, which is the one that is controlling our wavetable position here, we've got a nice long attack, 4.61 seconds. We have got the sustain set a little lower, so that's set to just over 0.75. So that means that our decay is in play here, and it's a very slow decay, 9-second decay there. And we've also adjusted the decay curve a little bit so that it kind of isn't quite so abrupt. So that's set to about -2. And then we've got a nice long release as well, so just over 10 seconds there. So this is going to give us a really long kind of sustained pad sound. I'm then going to switch on the Unison Engine. So this is set to classic mode. We've got it set to 3.24 voices. Stereo is all the way up, so we get it nice and wide. And then we've got the detune set to 1.85%. So that's giving us a slightly kind of wider and warmer sound now. So now let's have a look at our Engine 2. So I'll switch off Engine 1 and switch on Engine 2. Again, we've got this set to the wavetable, and we've got the basic waveforms wavetable selected here. Now I always quite like to layer the other wavetables with one of the basic waveforms wavetables, because it allows us to kind of boost these kind of harmonically rich wavetables with something that's a little bit more kind of bread and butter. So for this one, we have got it set to a sine wave, and we're not doing any kind of frequency mod or anything like that here. And yeah, our position is set to 0, so we are just getting this basic sine wave here. I'm then going to switch on the Unison Engine for this one. So again, we've got it set to classic mode. We've got the voices set to 3. Stereo is up 100% again, so we're getting a nice wide sound. And then we've got the detune set to just over 1%. So that's going to sound like this. So that's giving us a nice pure sine wave type sound. If we add these two wavetables together, we now sound like this. So without that sine, it's quite a bright sound without a lot of weight, but if we turn that up, we start to get a kind of warmth to the sound there. So this is then going to come through our filters. So let's switch on filter 1, and filter 1 is set to a multi-mode, and it's set to low pass 24. So we've got the cutoff set quite low at the moment, so 745 Hertz. There's a little bit of resonance on there, and we've also got some keyboard follow happening on this. That's set to just under 0.4. We're also going to modulate the filter cutoff with envelope 2. So as our wavetable position morphs, we're also going to be opening that filter up. So if we switch this on, you can see we're controlling filter 1 cutoff, and that is being controlled at 0.275. So you can see that opens up to around there. If we play that, just giving us a nice soft sound that gradually builds. So we've got our filter routing set to series. So filter 1 is going to feed straight into filter 2. So we'll switch on filter 2. Again, we've got it set to multi-mode, but this time we've got it set to a high pass 12 dB. So we're actually going to be kind of removing some of the low end that the sine wave is giving us there. So we've got the cutoff set to basically 50 hertz there. Resonance is up slightly, 0.2, and we've not got any keyboard follow on this. This is also being controlled by our envelope 2. So we'll switch on our filter 2 cutoff, and again you can see it's being controlled 0.27. So that is just going to kind of bring out some of the low end. It's going to start with more low end, and as that envelope opens up, it's going to take out some of it. And if we remove that filter, you can hear it's taking out quite a lot of the low end there. So we're just getting this kind of rich digital sounding pad. So we've also got the amp mod turned up a little bit here. So we've got it set to velocity, and then it's turned up to 0.164. So what that means is the harder that we play, the louder the sound is going to be. So that's just going to give us a bit of dynamic range and a bit of extra playability on the preset. This is then going to be coming into our effects. So on FXA, basically all we're going to be using here is our Juno chorus. So you can see we've got it set dry wet set to 0, but that is because we're controlling it on a macro. So macro 2 is mapped to bring in some chorus. So we're going to be getting this nice chorus warmth. So it gives us this nice morphing chorusy sound. So the rate is set to hertz, and that is set to 0.245 hertz. We've got the depth up to 3.14 milliseconds, and then the phase is set to 180 degrees. And then these other effects here are just there because of the macros. So we have the bit crusher assigned to macro 3 there, and we've also got some stereo panning, which is assigned to macro 1. So I won't go into that too much because we're just going to kind of look at the main part of this sound here, but obviously if you're recreating this sound, you can add whatever you want to the macros. We then also got it sent to our aux. So you can see we've got the send set to -7 dB. And again, you can see the return is pretty much set to off there. That is because we're controlling that with macro 4 so that you have kind of easy control over the reverb level. So let's turn macro 4 all the way up. Now, because the signal in Pigments feeds separately into our FX A and B and into our auxiliary, we're not getting the effects that we put in FX A on our auxiliary. So because I wanted that chorus to still be there on our reverb, I've had to duplicate that chorus plugin on our auxiliary. So we turn that on, and that has got the same settings as the one on FXA. Again, the dry wet mix is being controlled by our chorus knob here, but as you can see, it's actually slightly less on here. This is then running into a tape echo. So we've got the dry wet mix for that set to 50%. We've then got the time synced to quarter notes, the intensity up to 0.35, and we've got quite a wide stereo image with ping pong on as well. And then we can switch our reverb on too. So that is set to 100% wet, so we just get that wet signal. The size is set to about halfway there. We've got quite a long pre-delay, 26 milliseconds. Decay is quite long, 0.715. A little bit of damping, so that's 0.536. Full stereo width, and then just a little bit of shaping with our high pass and low passes here. So we're now going to get a nice reverberant sound. Which just gives us some lovely ambience there. And we're kind of colouring this reverb with our chorus and also with our tape echo. So the tape echo is actually quite a colourful delay unit, which gives us just a little bit of extra flavour on the reverb. Kind of elongates the reverb as well and just gives it a bit more character to it. So what we're essentially getting here is a kind of digital style sound from our Gentle Additives wavetable that's then kind of being warmed with our Unison and fattened out with our sine wave here. And then we're just kind of shaping it with these two different filters, which are essentially almost working as a band pass that we can kind of set our own width for the band. So when we're finished, we end up with this beautiful digital style ambient pad that sounds like this. So hopefully you found this tutorial useful. If you are an Arturia Pigments user and you want to download some free presets, then head to synthvault.net. Every single month I upload brand new presets that you can download for completely free. Before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe and ding the bell to be notified about my next video. Until next time, take care.